Howdy folks, AJ coming at you again, your resident vintage gamer. Today is going to be a gaming blog. We're going to talk a little bit about the current D&D campaign that I'm involved in right here in my very own tavern. We're going to talk a little bit about a couple of announcements that occurred during the last week and some of the games that I've been playing. You guys are welcome to chime in on what you've been playing, and we may even talk a little bit about March Madness. So without further ado, let's go. To start off with, we did have our weekly D&D session back here last night, and it was the amount of gaming that we did was we didn't do a lot because there were some logistical things that occurred, which shit happens from time to time, and we didn't get a lot of gaming time in, but we as a group had a freaking blast last night, just shooting the shit and talking about different geek stuff, and watched a couple of videos while we were waiting for some other players to come and all that. So just overall, just a fantastically fun night. And got a little clip here I'll show you. I'll just put this little clip in here for you. Okay, so we're doing a quick video here of the latest D&D session, and I wanted to do this only because this has been a pretty epic night so far, not necessarily gaming wise, but just everything else that's been going on, and just give you a kind of a look of the room. So you've got the DM's area over here, and then you have this amazing D20 that Jesse made in pottery class. Is that what I was? Ceramics. And then also her handiwork on that right there. And we have everybody else, and of course snacks and everything are being consumed, and we're getting ready to get eaten by a gelatinous cube.
You're getting eaten by a gelatinous cube.
We're all up here.
Yeah. Catch you on the flip side. So that's just a little tidbit of the night we had, and Jesse, who was in the video, was generous enough she decided to donate this giant 20-sided that she made in ceramics. She donated it to Greyhawk's Tavern, so it will be up back there somewhere where it can be seen on all of my future videos. So to Miss Jessie, thank you very much. So I'll put in a couple pictures here of she did some doodling while we were waiting for everything to get going. She did some doodling, and I did kind of a little collage there, and I'll put a couple pictures up here for you so you can take a look. So that was pretty much the D&D night. We did get a little bit of gaming in, and what we did was a lot of fun. There was a gelatinous cube involved, and there was some type of shaman, reptile shaman that we had to deal with and everything. So overall, it was a fun night. So moving on, as you know, if you watch my channel, I am an enormous fan of this book, Ready Player One. I think it's one of the best books that I've read in a very long time. And there was some big news that came out a couple days ago. As you may or may not know, they are making a movie based on this novel. And a couple days ago, they made the announcement that Mr. Steven Spielberg will be the director for the movie adaptation of Ready Player One. Couldn't be happier. I know there's a lot of people out there that negative Nancy's, I'll call them, who are, Spielberg hasn't done anything good, blah blah blah. You know what? Steven Spielberg has directed most of my favorite movies of all time. So I do have kind of a bias, I guess, because I provided security for his facilities at Universal. Amblin Entertainment was his studio that he had, little standalone studio that he had on the Universal property. I provided their security for them, and then when DreamWorks, SKG, and I don't think it's even called SKG anymore, it was Spielberg, Katzenberg, Geffen, when that studio was created, they didn't have any office space, and they were looking for some, and they found some at Universal at one of the buildings on the kind of outskirts of the property. And so we kind of had to jump through hoops to get some security put together, a security plan put together for that office space, because things were moving very quickly. And then time went on, and they ended up building an animation studio in Glendale, California, and I provided the security for that as well. So I guess I kind of have a bias for Mr. Spielberg. So in any case, I couldn't be happier. Love the book. Can't wait for the movie. I'm happy that Mr. Spielberg is the one directing it. So I guess the next move will be they'll start talking about the cast. So we can't wait to see who they're going to be picking to play some of these iconic characters from the book. So bottom line, if you haven't read this yet, you really need to. If you're watching this channel and you haven't read this yet, you'll be kicking yourself for wondering why you waited so long. So that takes care of that topic. Next thing, I finished Wolfenstein: The New Order, and I talked about it a little bit before in another video, and it was fantastic. I don't want to give any spoilers away, so I'm not going to talk too much about it, but it's definitely, I bought it on sale at Walmart for $20, but if it goes on sale again, if I were you, I would definitely pick it up. I'll probably do a separate video as a full review on it. So right now, I am playing Alien Isolation, which is also right now is on sale on Steam. And from what I've played so far, really enjoying that as well. And as I should, I mean, it was Game of the Year, so last year. So really enjoying that. If you have played either Wolfenstein: New Order or Alien Isolation, feel free to chime in below and let us know what you thought of the games. And then I thought that the last thing to talk about today, when I started this channel, I said we'll talk about gaming, we'll talk a little bit about beer, which I do from time to time with my beer 30s, and a little sprinkling of sports. Primarily football, but every once in a while we'll talk about something else sports related. And of course we're in the middle of March Madness. So I thought my bracket, and most people have done a bracket, my bracket, surprisingly enough, is actually doing pretty good. My Final Four is still intact. So I'll shoot up a picture here real quick so you can take a look at my bracket. That is Greyhawk 4x4's bracket, and I got my fingers crossed because I got my Final Four still intact, and I think they look pretty solid. So we'll just see how this pans out, and I'm sure that at the end of the tournament and everything, we'll talk about it again here on the channel. So that should do it for this episode, and we'll catch you guys on the flip side.